right. That was pretty cool, huh? What's up, everybody? It's the Great Brown Hope here. Welcome to Genuinely Be Honest with the Great Brown Hope. I've got the very special, the unique, the one and only, often duplicated, never imitated, Tim Vicious in the house. He put the sexy in dyslexia.
I risen with the tism and I put the sexy in dyslexia. I can't help it.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How about you? How about you? I meant to ask you,
I'm
man, how are you holding up? It's been a minute since after all the fires that happened over in LA and all. How you been holding up since?
It's been pretty quiet here. It's got really hot, and then with what's going on with ice and stuff in Los Angeles, that's been it's been in the way for a lot of us, a lot of the family. But we keep pushing. We just keep our eyes open. Got to stay safe. Got to stay alert. You know what I mean? So we play our part. We do what we got to do for now, but can't say too much.
I get you on that, man. I get you on that.
What about you though? How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. I wound up busting my ass something fierce earlier that I forgot to ask. Okay, as Terry Funk would say, can I say ass?
Of course you can. You say whatever you want here.
Yeah, I
You get
can't
to say
help it. I
whatever you
can't
want.
help it. I'll do weird imitations of voices all the time. I used to get asked, like, you do like something like if Terry Funk was mad at because he couldn't get ice cream at McDonald's, and I would just go on a tirade. All I wanted was a goddamn ice cream.
Yeah.
And you said it was broken because your mother's
Oh yeah. I could quote all kinds of movies, scenes, wrestling for days,
I just
for
make up
hours.
random
You
things
know what I
off the
mean?
top of
So
my head. My brain goes all kinds of places.
yeah, no, I hear that. But this is episode 3, brought to you by Four Loco. And I wanted to bring you on, do something special. You had me on your show a couple of times. We had some fun on there. We had Kyle, Nix, who just finished performing in a Geek Fest. They had wrestling in the middle of the street. So
Nice.
it was one of those conventions where it's like a little bit of everything. Everything's happening and stuff. And in the middle of the street, they have wrestling going on. So you can show up there, Pokemon cards, video games, the whole 9 yards, everything that we're into and whatnot. All the
Oh, that
geek
just sounds
nerd
like
stuff
heaven.
plus wrestling. You know what I mean? Plus underground wrestling. So it's
Yeah.
the greatest thing in the world. I actually wanted to go up there for that. I was going to try to make it a plan to, make it a trip for us to go out there for a day or two. But the new job, just picked up right away. So it's just like, okay, well, that's out of the fold. But yeah, while you're here, don't forget, subscribe to Main Event. We're trying to hit 200 followers on our YouTube. We've got 150, I think. What are we at? Let me see. We're at 147. Yeah, so we're almost at 150. We're talking about once we hit 200, we may do another 24-hour live stream. So there's that too. Aside
We
from our
actually just
Memorial
jumped
Day
up
one.
one. We just hit 148.
All right, look at that. We're already doing numbers, man.
Yeah, and my kiddo, he's in the comments. He wanted to know what you thought how the Clippers did this past season, and how you think they're going to do this season.
No, it was a good and bad season. It was a mess, kind of. At least to me. Used to being used to seeing a team like that actually does pretty well. But it is the Clippers. There's a lot of things that go into the equation there. The coaching, the health staff and whatnot, and the front office as well. They're gonna have morale there too. You know what I mean? Like these guys aren't robots. They're not just gonna show up and play basketball. You know what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
gonna be some sort of backstage morale, something. I mean, key players get traded away all the time. I didn't like when they got James Harden at all. I thought it ruined the chemistry that they were working on building with Russell Westbrook at that point in time, which I was really excited for. And then adding James Harden to the mix kind of like threw a fork in the chain, and it really spiraled things out of control over the whole season. You look at last season, they didn't do so well in the playoffs towards the end. James Harden was nowhere to be seen. You could quote me on that. And I hate to say it, but same old Clippers. And then this summer, seeing their moves on paper, like they look like moves that people would often agree to, but I've seen it a lot with their team and a lot of teams. So I'm not really excited, but it's Clippers basketball, so I'm always going to be excited nevertheless. You know what I mean? We stick with our guns.
I follow in more of a casual sense. Baseball was always more my thing. Like I could do Phillies and the Red Sox all day long.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, the baseball is like a third sport for me because it's wrestling and basketball. That's what this one is right here. This is the Clippers jersey.
All right, see, well, there you go, man. That's what's up.
The wife got me that one recently. It's Kobe Brown's jersey, but it says Brown.
Yeah.
So had to nab it. Get some water, man. Throat's dry. You got anything to drink over there?
Actually, as a matter of fact, can we get the sound effect going? Nope, can't. My hands are messed up. I can't get the grip right.
You need to get a new microphone. So what we need to do there is we need to get people over to your merch store so they can buy your shirt, buy your tanks, buy your hoodies, whatever you got.
We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got tanks, yep. We got women's tees, we got long sleeves if you're into wearing that in this kind of hot weather. We also got toddler tees and baby onesies. And, like I always say, it's a perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or if you just want to buy your shirts, buy the shirts and you can give it to Goodwill, and hold on to that special shirt you have. Because
did you say buy the shirt and give it to Goodwill?
Yeah. By all means, if you want to buy it and give it to Goodwill, I will not hold it against you. Because at the end of the day, I still make profit off it.
Yeah. I would say buy it, and then that old shirt you can't let go of, now it can go to Goodwill because you got a new shirt for it. You know what I mean?
No. You give the new shirt to Goodwill so you can hold on to that old one that you don't want to get rid of.
The Goodwill worker just nabs it. Sweet, new shirt, still got the tag on it.
Yeah.
It's like, sweet. Oh, man. But what I really wanted to ask you, man, what I really wanted to talk to you about was Tim Vicious, the wrestler. I mean, I had heard somewhere along the grapevine that when they were putting together the Sanity faction in NXT, that you were kind of the inspiration for that, man. Tell me more about that.
Well, it was right after I got done a really bad breakup with the one ex, and I think it was the one that tried to stab me with the pen. No. It was the one that tried to take a stapler to my neck. Okay, those are stories meant for another day. Either way. When I started backyard wrestling when I was like 12, when I was still a kid in Philly. It was me, my brother, and a couple of kids we all knew. We would just do it in like the back streets or in a playground just for fun and kicks. And some of us were just like, hey, why don't we try making this into a thing? I'm like, okay, cool. And some guys took on like the names from people they saw on TV, like, yeah, they were going to be like a Chris Jericho, or this guy was going to be Ken Shamrock. And, and I was like, well, I kind of want to make my own. And I picked the name Mayhem. So I went from Mayhem. I stuck with the name Mayhem until I was about maybe 21-ish. So from the time I was 12 until I was 21, I was Mayhem.
Nice.
I never even thought of anything other than that. Like, okay, do I want to reinvent myself? No. I was just kind of going through the motions. Like, can I? No, I don't want to right now.
What was it like putting together your first match? Like,
honestly, all we really did was just figure out who was going to win and who was going to lose and how, and we just called everything. The only thing we said was just no. We'd be like, okay, listen, I'm cool with this, and this. Do not do this move or that move, and no hitting me here or hitting me there.
Okay.
And that was it. So we were pretty much just, we would call it in the ring, and we never even knew the terms. So if we didn't know, so we would just say, let's just do whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so there had to be championships, right?
Oh yeah, we made our own. Like, we made our own. We had like little weightlifting belts, and we would glue, and like we would get like hot glue or something to paste on like these metal plates on there, and we'd get a Sharpie saying heavyweight champ, tag champ, IC, US, all that stuff. And I spent most of my time as a backyard guy doing tag teaming. And I've always loved tag team wrestling. I think it's a unique kind of art compared to just regular one-on-one single wrestling. And you'll never convince me otherwise. Hands down, greatest tag team of all time, Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That is my absolute favorite tag team of all time.
OG Road Warriors, right? We're not talking about Heidenreich Road Warriors,
No,
right?
no, good God, no, no,
Oh,
no. We don't talk about that. No, I'm talking like Hawking Animal, where it was like if where two guys walked into the building, they looked on the board and they were like, "All right, I'm working tonight. And who am I working with? The Road Warriors." Oh. Yeah, those kind. That was my jam right there because, growing up, I was super skinny. I was a super skinny, scraggly kid that a toothpick had more meat on its bone than me.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just I don't know what it was. I was just really lean and lanky,
and you just weren't scared of anything.
No, it's just my parents would constantly just have us do, okay, go out and call us when it's lunchtime if you don't think you can make it back to the house, or if you can, get to the house for lunch. And then after that, it was another boot. All right, come back when it's time for dinner. So we were just always out and moving around, and it was just nonstop moving. So it was just nothing stayed on me.
Gotcha. And then, no, go ahead.
I was super lean and lanky like that, so it was just, man, I didn't have much meat on my bones. Like you could play my ribs like a xylophone.
So, did you eat cheeseburgers or anything, or
no, dude, I would wolf that. Like I could wolf down a giant thing of like nuggets, peanut butter sandwiches. I could kill when I was like 10 or so, I could kill half a pizza with no problem without breaking a sweat. And you'd just be like, where the hell is this kid putting it?
Yeah. Just never forget, every pizza is a personal pizza if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You finish that pizza, champion.
My parents took me to a doc, and the docs actually wrote a script to have me drink inshore to try and put weight on.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that for like a month, maybe a month and a half, I think. And like, it went nowhere. And that's stupid phone alarm. I thought I turned that off.
You're like, you have a podcast at 4:00. Sir, it's 4:15.
God damn it, pal. What the fuck is this bullshit?
You're supposed to put 3:15 instead of 4:15. See, there was the numbers messing with you again.
Yeah, you see, and again, yeah, that happened with me. I was working at this powder coating factory, and I was working in this powder coating factory like right before COVID hit. And for whatever reason, they put me in charge of marking down the numbers for the metals that had to get fed through the washer.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I wrote down, and it was supposed to be a 3, and the dyslexic in me made it a B, and they were like, who the fuck wrote B on all these? I'm like, I did. Why? You guys had the dyslexic guy handle the writing, handle numbers. What did you expect? And they were their jaws hit the floor like, oh, well, fuck. We can't.
It's your fault, not mine. It's not my fault at all.
Yeah, we can't yell at you now.
Yeah, that's
but man, wrestling has been like the main thing for me, and I've been watching wrestling since like the golden age. When I was a kid, I was watching like Saturday Night's Main Event, Hogan, like the Hogan, Rude, Jake Roberts, Macho Man. Macho and Jake Roberts are my 2 all-time fave guys. I tried so much to emulate both of them as much as I could in however way. Like, it was just, they both just, to me, they were like the biggest thing in the world.
What would you say was the highlight of your backyard wrestling career? Where was your peak moment?
Well, I break it down in 2 parts. One part when I was still living in Philly, and one part after I moved to Erie. And yeah, I almost got myself lined up right. I'm trying. Let me see if I can move my no, I'm trying. I messed that up. All right, but when I was a kid in Philly, we would do these matches in our schoolyard, and they had this little caged in area where they would have where they would put the school dumpster, where they would put the dumpsters. They were supposed to put them in there, but they never did. We all called it the cell because
Mhm.
that was like maybe a few years after Hell in a Cell came out.
Okay.
Excuse me. And I was doing a match and I climbed it, and just like Spider-Man, and then I got up onto the roof, and then I looked down and I just let go, and it felt like slow motion. I came down, I had my elbow out for an elbow drop, and all I could think is, he better not move, he better not move, he better not move, he better not move, or I'm gonna shatter this, or mom's gonna kill me. Thankfully, he didn't move.
Oh yeah. No
And
fear.
after Erie, after I moved here to Erie, uh, definitely, as much as I'd want to say when I won a singles title, it was actually my last match because
Okay.
just the way that the ending came out, because I got back issues and I never hid that. I got what docs call degenerative disc disease in my lower back. And
Okay.
for those who don't know, it's when your spine starts to narrow in on itself. And
Okay.
mine starts to like right at the end of the tailbone.
Okay.
So I was dealing with some nothing bad. It was just more like, man, my back is sore. Maybe I slept funny, or maybe I sat weird,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And one day I'm at the gym and I'm lifting and I'm not even going heavy. I'm doing squats. I have a 25 on both sides. I'm doing them 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I felt the pop, and then I had no feeling whatsoever from my waist down. Like
Shit.
it was completely numb, and I was just standing there holding that, and I'm just like frozen, and you could see the beads of sweat forming on me. My throat dried out, and I was just like
Oh shit.
scared for my life, like I can't have this fall on me. I am not going to end up in a damn wheelchair and have my kid push me around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully I started to get feeling back in my leg. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was a warm feeling on the inside of your leg. It felt almost kind of like if you peed yourself. But I was
Okay.
just like, okay, I got feeling. That's at least a good thing. Was able to rack it, sat down, got my bearings, cleaned up everything, and then I got home. I looked at my mom and dad. I was like, guys, my back's seriously fucked.
Mm-hmm.
My mom asked me to lay down. She starts trying to knead it and feel it out, and she's like, how'd you get home? Dad picked me up. Oh, where did he pick you up? From the mall? How could you have gotten there? That's like 5 blocks from the gym. Well, I walked there. You couldn't have. Well, I did. No, Tim, I'm feeling your back right now. You physically should not have been able to do it. Well, I don't know how else to tell you, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I took some Motrin, went over to the hospital, got some X-rays. They looked at me, they saw that. They tried having me do physical therapy, but their physical therapist was like, what I'm not going to say the guy's name because I don't remember it, but I'll tell you now, that physical therapist didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Like he was just the exercises he wanted me to do would not help me whatsoever. And I will say this, and I will swear this until my dying day. My chiropractor that I see regularly now and DDP yoga are the only reasons I'm not in a chair right now. I'm not in a wheelchair. Those are the only two things that kept me out from it.
Yeah.
Because
You're still doing that now?
oh God, yeah, I did. There is not a day I don't go and do them stretches. I got to deal with back issues on a regular, and and I'm in a very physically demanding job for like my 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly having to heave and haul and move heavy stuff on a regular, and so it's just like, okay, so I need to keep this. I need to keep myself loose and limber because I can't afford to have my back go out on me again.
Yeah. Every day is like a risk.
Yeah,
Any
and so
little thing to ruin it.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when COVID happened and lockdown happened, that was probably like one of the best blessings to ever happen to me in a weird way, because that was the first time in my adult life I actually stopped and hit the brakes on everything. Was like, I can catch my breath. Holy hell. this is what it's like to actually stop and rest for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I was running nonstop from like the second I found out I was going to be a dad. And it was just like, okay, I don't need to worry about getting up early for work. I don't need to get up early about making sure he's ready for school and that I got to make him lunch and do this, this, and this, and this, and this. It was, I can finally slow down a minute.
And then once that happened, well, what went different for you? What changed in your everyday life?
When my back went,
Yeah.
well, I changed everything, like how I move, how I sit, stand. Like to this day, I will still now. I brace myself if I feel a sneeze coming on. Like I will curl myself up and lock my back up. Like okay, because I can't have a sneeze blow my back out.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and before the injury happened, I was lifting heavy, and I was trying to go for rock level heavy because I was doing like 80-pound dumbbells just for curls, triceps, and all that. I was just breaking 200 on benching. I was working on 210 on deadlifts and all that. After that, it was like, okay, I got to go clean. I got to go lean. So I dropped down lighter weights and just focused on, okay, get long and lean instead of trying to just go on, get and try and bulk and put on muscle.
Yeah. Just take it easy one day at a time, so to speak.
Yeah,
Playing the long game, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Because as much as I'd love to go and try and go and do heavy, I know for a fact the main thing, and I said this to myself all the time, and I taught all my nephews, I taught my sister's kids on how to weightlifting, and I teach this to my son all the time. When you're lifting, listen to your body because your brain is going to tell you you can lift 800 pounds, no problem. But if you try, but when your body is going to look at you and say, "Oh no, you can't."
I just thought of something. Why don't you do like weight training videos? You already do like your vicious shorts. Why don't you do like a vicious workouts and you give your vicious points while you're
I
10 of
thought of
these.
that, but honestly, I don't have the honestly. I thought of that honestly, but I do most of mine like right at the middle, like in the dead of night, or I get up super early in the morning and do it because I do I do a ton of empty stomach cardio. So I do that just to help make sure to help stay lean. So, and it's like, okay, yeah. And by the time I'm done that's when like I got to start getting up and move and do everything to get stuff going in the house. That, and also I changed my diet around completely to where now I eat almost kind of like in a bodybuilder sense. Like if you saw what I do for breakfast on a regular, your jaw would hit the floor.
Yeah, you see that's a whole show right there. How
Yeah,
you eat, how
like
you train,
yeah, well,
protein.
that's putting it mild because I do
This is a vicious omelet.
7 eggs. I do 7 eggs for
Damn.
breakfast. 7 eggs, 6 whites, 1 whole. I mix in ghost pepper, hot sauce, and Frank's because I like the taste of Frank's.
I fucking love Frank's, man. That's my shit.
Oh yeah, and
I
then
put
I
that shit on
do
everything.
5 breakfast sausages. I cook on a Foreman grill to cut down the grease. And then I make 2 hash browns in my air fryer, so that way I don't have to worry about any unnecessary grease from that.
Nice. Oh, you're giving away free recipes, man.
Yeah, and then yes, buddy.
Man.
Yes, he would like my son would also like me to emphasize on how much like Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio, I too have a son that is taller than me.
We don't like Rey Mysterio though.
IWC, how can you? Nobody can hate Rey Mysterio, the Great Brown Hope.
No haters. He's got no haters. Get out of here. The
But no,
interns are working on a Sunday.
changed my diet around to where now instead of like just trying to go and get like eat healthy to get bulk, I now I try and base on what I eat based on how active I am. Like, okay, if I was this active, then I can have this X amount of calories. So not only can I do breakfast, but later on, then I can have this, and this as a snack.
Okay. So another question I wanted to ask you: did you go out the way you wanted to go out?
I never really thought of on how I wanted to, but the more I sat back and thought about it, I was happy and content with on how it was. It was the back injuries was leading up more and more. The back pains were leading up more and more, and it got to the point where I was weighing the pros and cons of just getting out of bed in the morning. My
Okay.
back was hurting that bad. And then that injury happened, and it was just like, I got to stop with the wrestling. I got to stop with the wrestling. So, and I had a show I was supposed to do in a couple weeks, and at that time I was the heavyweight champ. And I emphasize heavyweight because I'm only about maybe at that time I was about maybe a buck 92. So, but
I think that's how much Neville weighed when he was the NXT heavyweight champion. So it's all right.
there you go. Yeah, but you
I
said
mean,
I don't have the big wide build like him. I don't have that. I don't have
well,
that monster V like he does.
that was before he got like super bulky. Like he was bulky, but that's before he got like super bulky. Remember 205 Live? He was massive.
Oh my God, yeah.
He was scary big, man. He just popped out. I remember he just popped back up and he was mad. Like, man, I remember thinking like, how's he gonna do his finisher like that? And he still did it, and it looked twice as clean. Like that guy has
Yeah.
always just gotten better, and he gets bigger and more cut, more lean. Like he's a scary man, dude.
And I can't see on how people say he's on the gas when he don't look it at all. He just dude dieted and was smart enough to know what to do, when to do it.
Yeah, it's a different game now. I
Yeah.
mean, from what I remember reading about it, like it's an of course it's an enhancement, but it's not something that's gonna make you look rip and jacked all the time. Like you still
Oh
have to
no,
work.
because
You
I've
still
made
got to
this.
work. You know what I mean? Like you still
No,
got to put in
because
the
look,
hours. You still got to train regardless.
my sister's one kid asked me about steroids once, and I was like, dude, I'll tell you now, I've never touched them. I've never thought of using them, but I can tell you this now. You could pump steroids into me and you all day long until it's pouring out of our nose. It ain't gonna count for jack squat if our diet ain't right. Because while it may give us the gas to be able to go and bench 500, if we ain't eating clean, it don't count for squat.
Mhm. Yeah, that's very true.
But
Still got to do the work.
yeah, when the but when the back injury was hitting and I had a show coming up in a couple weeks, I called the dude who always handled who handled the booking for the matches. Like he was our matchmaker. Because if we didn't
The
have
head
one,
booker.
yeah, basically, because if we didn't have one, it would just be the same. It would just be the same six guys doing the same matches over and over. So we needed somebody smart enough to know, okay, we need to have you make our matches for us. But I told him,
Okay.
listen, man, I got to tell you now, my back's bad. I'd never told the docs I'd do this stuff, but I'm telling you now, after this match, I'm done. You want to have me? I got no problem taking the loss. I got no problem giving whoever you want to give the belt to. I got no problem with it whatsoever. I'll walk away. I need to do this for my own health. And they were like, okay, no problem. So the show's going to be the show will be here at this place, this time. Okay. So make sure you get here at this time. Okay. And we got there. I got there and I was like, all right, hey. And all the guys knew because, well, like the old saying goes, telephone, telegraph, tell a wrestler, right?
Mm.
So everyone was just like, dude, this is going to be your last one? It's like, yeah, I got it. It's my body's giving out on me, man, and it ain't holding like it used to. So, and everyone was just like, I get it. I get it. And I'm not saying I was like a locker room favorite or a locker room leader, but, when you hear somebody's going, you give your respects to them. Yeah. But then I went over to the booker. I was like, hey, how you want me to lose tonight? And I was booked in a triple threat. Excuse me. And they were like, no, we're going to have you win. Wait, what? Yeah, nice. You can go ahead. We're going to let you go on your own. We're going to let you go on your own. Let you die on your sword. You do a pin, do a double pin, take them both. Nice. We'll give you a couple minutes, let you say goodbye to everyone, and then
hell yeah.
And then after that, you just leave the belt and then you walk away. I'm like,
nice.
Really? You guys are okay with me doing this?
That sounds beautiful.
Like, Like, because I mean, I was a bad guy, and I have no problem being a bad guy. Making people mad, getting heat, all that. Like, I've never been afraid of getting heat. Like, I would go and draw. I would go out of my way to try and get like Bubba at Heatwave 2000 kind of heat. And for those that know, no. But But I would do that kind of stuff on a regular to piss people off. But I was like, listen, you want me to do this? Because I don't want to mess up you guys in the long run. I'm like, no. Don't worry. We'll be all right. And if needed, we can always make it like, we can have somebody go and throw you under the bus to, have you be a reason that, something bad happened here or there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So it was our normal match, and it was like 20 minutes or so. I've always been a fan of doing like a 15 to 20 because I've always felt like if you know what you're doing the right kind of way, you could tell just as good of a story in a 15 to 20-minute match than you could in a 40 or 60-minute match. Mm-hmm. It all depends on how how comfortable you are with how you work. But right. It did the match, and my finish was a DDT. It was Tim Vicious, the Vicious DDT. So I had both guys under my arms. Boom! Dropped them. Climbed on top, did both. 1, 2, 3. Got up, and you could see the visible look of I was just mad. Not even like, yeah, give me the belt. I'm out of here. Like, no, like I was legit mad at myself. And then I was just got in there, got him like, all right, guys, want to sit and talk with you for a minute. I've been here as Tim Vicious for a good while. But I'm here talking to you now as Tim so-and-so. Guy tried making a joke at my last name. I was like, sir, you have just as much right to make jokes about my name as anyone else. But unless you got the balls to step into this ring right now, I suggest you shut up before I shove this down your throat.
Oh, you went vicious on him.
Yeah. Well, it was my goodbye moment. I wasn't going to let somebody go and try and take it. Like that.
Fuck it, I'll have one more match right now. Get him in here.
Yeah, just have me go against that fat dude that was trying to burn on me.
Get another victory on the way out.
Yeah. So it was like, I've been doing this sport, and at this time I was really pissed off because it was when WWE was still doing the over-the-top super sugary PG stuff, where it was like where they had Muppets as the guest hosts. And I
remember that.
Yeah, and it felt like wrestling wasn't connecting with me right at that moment, at that time when it was like it used to. And I don't know if that was because I was stepping away or if it was because of that, and everyone just kept emphasizing on how it was sports entertainment. Like, okay, I get that, but there's also emphasis on the sport part. Can we put some focus on that? Mm-hmm. So that's where that part came from. And I was like, I've been doing this sport, and I call it that because this is a sport, unlike what some people would like you to think. I've been doing this 15 years. I've broken bones. I've bled and I sweat. And I've put more sweat, blood, and tears in this ring than I care to admit. As much as I love all of you, I got to tell you all, this is going to be the last time you see Tim Vicious step in this ring. Thank you. And I just left it at that, grabbed my belt, and started walking away. As I was doing that, then I heard a handful of people starting to do, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. I was like, God damn it. Broke me. and right before I went through the curtain, which was made out of like the $10 blue vinyl tarps you can get out of I just laid the belt down, looked at everyone's like, all right, you guys want to see one last time? I did like the Tommy Dreamer pose, like, because nice. I grew up in ECW and Tommy Dreamer was my guy. I love Tommy Dreamer.
I would drink to that, man. Drink to that.
He was my guy. Tommy Dreamer was my man in that.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. Drink Four Loko, guys.
Now, if I can just get this damn bottle to open.
Oh, I've never tried this one. I wanted to save it for a good occasion like today, like for the show and stuff. And it's not too bad. It doesn't really taste like a Four Loko. This tastes like the sugar-free yellow Gatorade.
Oh, for real?
Bullshit. No bullshit. This one. This flavor specifically. It's supposed to be the camouflage flavor, so maybe that's what it is. It's camouflage as something it's not. It's
Oh, you
camouflage
see, there
as
you
Four
go.
Loko.
So, it's a good thing this stuff wasn't around when we were kids,
Huh.
because we would have put that in Gatorade bottles and ran around
No, man. When I
school.
was, I remember when I was 17, we would go to our high school to watch the basketball games for the kids who were playing at that time, and we would sit in the crowd with Four Locos, and they wouldn't mess with us. Like they probably thought it was Arizona or something.
I saw
They
probably
thought they were big bright cans, so they're
I
like a
saw
soda.
the
They don't
two
look like no
stupidest
English or anything.
like
So.
TikTok videos ever. These Gen Z kids were trying Mad Dog 2020 and Everclear,
Oh,
and
man.
all I could think is, kids, no, you cannot dance with these devils. Trust me, we have done that. We lost. There are black holes in our teenage years from it.
Man, I remember I had
I'm
two
not
Mad Dogs
slandering
in a
Mad
day.
Dog. I'm just saying, Mad Dog 2020 can and
I
will
love the Mad Dog. We love the
build
Mad
your
Dog out
brain.
here. We never put down the Mad Dog. I remember the one time I had two Mad Dogs, I still wasn't as drunk as when I had like my first Four Loko. And it was about like days apart, literally, because we would always try everything. Did you guys ever have Thunderbird with the Kool-Aid?
Oh my
That
god.
was my shit. That was my shit because I
Okay, I
mentioned
will
this
tell you now,
on a night shift.
the absolute worst drink I ever had in the history of anything I ever drank. And I was a pretty heavy drinker back in the day. It was this nasty ass generic vodka. It was called Vladimir. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
ever heard of
that'll
it.
get you.
It
No, but
just
it
said
sounds like it.
Vladimir vodka, and it had a picture of some old Russian aristocrat on there. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have used that stuff to peel paint.
Yeah,
Like,
or burn the warts off of mules.
yeah, like, what was it? I took a swig, and as I did, my brother, he was telling a joke while he had a cigarette in, and as he said it, I started to do a spit take. A little bit of it caught his cigarette, and I swear, I think I saw a fireball. I think I saw a small fireball spark from it. Like, oh my god, the
That's
hell
one
is
when I got a
drinking?
cigarette. Yeah. Oh shit! I remember. No, I forgot what the vodka was called, but it's a blue. It's a clear bottle. It's got a blue sticker. And it was I think $3 for that little one. A little like not a single shot, but I think it's either 250 or 375 milliliters. I think, but like a small little personal one. It's like $5. It used to be $3. We used to get
That may have
fucked up
been
on that
that
shit.
stuff for all we know.
No, like we would pass it around like with 4 or 5 people, and it was enough to get you like, oh shit, I'm buzzed. Like,
Yeah,
where are the beers? Like this is all we're drinking. So let's get another one.
yeah. Now, yeah, and what was it? A little after my son was born, I went straight edge. He was about 1.5. I went straight edge. I was like, because it just hit me. I was like, I can't ask him to not. He's gonna get older, and I can't set an example for him to not drink or smoke if I do it. So, and I needed to give up the stuff anyway, and it's not like I had a bad drinking problem. It's just it wasn't fun like it used to be. So it was just like, you know what? It ain't fun no more. And if it's not fun for me anymore, I cut it off. I cut ties on it, cut bait on it, so to say.
Yeah, why
Like,
not?
yeah, and I have done that more times than I can count on all kinds of stuff. Like, and I even said on my very first episode of Vicious Rants all them years back, I'm gonna just keep doing this until I get bored and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah. And look at you now. How many episodes in are you?
Oh God, 648 I believe is coming up.
Well,
647. Thank you, buddy.
what episode were you at when you joined the network?
Oh God, I think I was in the 300s, somewhere around in the 300 or 400s.
So that means you've got like 300 episodes on the main event YouTube channel, right? As well.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We got to have the interns double check on that.
Yeah, because I always get 2 notifications. I get one when you upload it, and then I get one when the main event channel uploads it. So if that's 300 episodes, that's insane, man. So you guys can find those over at our main event network YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to us. Subscribe to Tim's channel as well. So that's a lot, like 600 episodes, and that's just when you're talking about Raw and stuff, right? Like when you're
Yeah,
going
I
over pay-per-views?
like
We're not talking about
obviously
your
I'll
top
talk
card.
about breaking news in wrestling,
Mm.
like when the VKM stuff broke and there was the rumors that they were going to sell to Saudis, and it was like where it was like every other day a new breaking story was going to happened in some kind of in wrestling in some kind of way. I would always go and do, all right, before we get into the show, want to talk about this first. So and so
Right.
happened, or I would always make sure of that, because the reason why I always do WWE on my show is, well, at the time when I first started, it was the most viewable product out there at the time, where Ring of Honor, you could get it, you could watch it, but you could only watch it on cable if you were in like the local Baltimore area, or if you had some kind of dish subscription program. I would always watch Ring of Honor on the weekends right before I would go to work every Saturday morning. TNA was still on Spike, but at that time it was very much so in that LOL TNA stage.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Hogan.
Yeah,
Racist bastard. Anyway.
bro, I'm telling you right now, bro. The main reason for that, bro, was Vince Russo, bro. Trust me, I know. You know how I know, bro? I created the Attitude Era, bro. That's my best friend Russo. That's my best friend Russo. But I would watch that, and I watch whatever wrestling you can put in front of me. I love all kinds of wrestling. I love watching regular American wrestling. I love watching Japanese wrestling, German, lucha, comedy, all kinds, whatever it is. Nice. I will put it on, I will sit down and I will watch it so long as it entertains me.
Yeah, because nowadays everything is a lot more easily accessible. Like even NWA is easy to get a hold of now.
Yeah, NWA
they're kind of making a little bit of noise.
Doing a deal with Roku now, where their stuff is now going to be viewable on the Roku channel.
Then we got MLW, TNA, AEW.
This is hands down the greatest time for our generation to be wrestling fans, because everything is just so easily accessible now, as opposed to when we were younger and we had to do tape trading.
Or if we missed it, we missed it.
Or if you missed it, because what was it? I remember being a kid. I got into arguments with my mom because she would want me to sign up for Little League Baseball and be like, okay, but what days are practice? It'd be on Mondays. Well, I don't want to do it. Why not? I'm gonna miss Raw. Damn, are you seriously telling me you don't want to do baseball because you're gonna miss your show? Yes.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh man. I didn't get to use that because we had all kinds of shows. We had Goosebumps, Power Rangers.
Oh God, yeah, dude. And that was my other thing. My parents were always afraid I was gonna be that super wrestling nerd that was nothing but nonstop, all that 24/7. So they would emphasize on trying to make sure I had other interests too, and I did. It's just wrestling always just kind of took the forefront. Like I would have, like, if I didn't have wrestling figures, I would use my other figures. Like I would have He-Man wrestle one of my Ninja Turtles, and I didn't have actual titles, so I would just use an old watch that my parents didn't use anymore as a title and be like, yeah, that's for the Grand Galactic Championship of the Universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I met up with a cousin a couple years ago at work. We were doing construction, and he had asked me, my brother, he's like, oh, are you guys still into wrestling? That's kind of lame. And I was like, you're still into the Avengers, even though you know what's going to happen?
That is the argument I always make.
His cards got tricked out.
Yeah, like when people go and say, oh, you watch that wrestling stuff, you know it's fake, right? I'm like, oh, you watch that reality TV show stuff, you know that's fake, right? I guarantee the stuff on Monday Night Raw is way more real than what you see on The Bachelor.
Yep. The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Or American Idol.
One relationship from The Bachelor that has lasted.
Yeah, that's very true.
There you go.
Yeah. And honestly, I think reality TV is more scripted. I remember I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Oh no, wait, I didn't sign anything, so I can say whatever I want. I remember trying out for an episode of Price is Right. Not trying out, but trying to get on for the stage. And you got to go in, you got to wait, they got to do a background check and all that shit. And I didn't even get seated. I didn't go inside and watch it. But you can actually hear people like, okay, this is what's gonna go up next. This is what you're gonna bid. Like they do plant some people into the show. So
seriously,
yeah,
that's something because I watched
everything's rigged. Like
a couple months ago. It was about that dude who wound up working the program on Price is Right back when Bob Barker was still running
it. Drew Carey?
No. It was this guy. He was just a fan. He was a contestant, and he broke down the pattern on how Price is Right would put out certain items, and it would be around this price or that price. And he wound up winning not just the showcase, but also the grand prize. He wound up winning the showcase and the other one, and that was the first time it ever happened. They were like, oh shit, this happens. What do we do?
I forget what the rule is, but if your bid or their bid is over 50, or if your bid is within 50 or something, you win both. So basically, he was almost like right on the money for his showcase.
Yeah. So, and it was, and everyone was.
I gotta go back and watch it, man.
Like
I missed those old episodes.
What? Yeah. And what's it? I think I just saw a thing. They're doing a movie. It's got Paul Walter in it. It's for that one. It's for this one game show that was out in the 70s where he broke down. There was a pattern to the way the show moved, the way the game show puzzles would move. And that's the weird thing with me. I didn't get the math power. I joke around all the time saying, yeah, I didn't get the cool math superpowers for autism like some people get. I didn't get the Rain Man ones. No, I get really obsessive and hyper focus on something that I like wrestling and Warhammer. And also I see patterns. I see patterns in things where people don't.
I like that.
Yeah. So and it's like, that's one of the things about what wrestling that piques my interest is, look, well, the way that person's sitting and the camera pointed over that way once or twice, I didn't know any better. I'd say, oh, I did see that coming. That was what was going to happen. Yeah, something like, I see weird things like that. That's the way my brain works and functions.
Maybe that's why your show works so well, because I mean, like the way you structure your show, the way you've got your like intro, your plugs memorized, like you have, a structure, a pattern to everything where it works for you. You know what I mean? And one of the things that always makes me pop is when just as soon as you mention LA Knight, you do all the phrases, right? Like you don't do it for anybody else, just for LA Knight.
L.A. Knight, yeah.
And you do the dummy, everything. You do the whole shit. I'm like, this fucking guy again. It's always LA Knight. I'm like, why can't you do that for other people like Jacob Fatu or Solo Sikoa? Why is it always just LA Knight?
well, when Jacob was still doing the hand folding thing, I would go out there and do like that with Jacob all the time. I would do that with Jacob, especially with the way he would always do it. He would always.
I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, like he would have the prayer hands, and he would push them together so hard it would be like they were trembling. So I would always do that when I was doing that with Jacob. But Solo now, though, his main thing is he goes and goes, has a silly face, and he scrunches his shoulders up.
Or he mocks their taunts. Yeah, Solo Sikoa is the greatest thing in wrestling right now, man.
Oh my God, yeah, for somebody that was a heavy, I never would have pegged him as being a funny man.
Yeah, he was always so serious.
Yeah, and that's something that I always take pride. I always kind of took pride in when I was wrestling. Was I always wanted to be a universal guy. I never wanted to just be known as a solid. I knew I wasn't like 250 built like a tank, so I couldn't be a solid ass kicker. And I'm no way could I be a luchador. I can't fly. I'm not a high flyer. So I can't be the high fly guy. So I was like, I moved like a striker. To this day, I still can't throw a working punch. So I would always do forearm strikes.
Okay.
So I would always do forearm strikes like boom. boom, like that on people because I
Yeah.
couldn't throw a working punch.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
So it
Okay.
was, but I knew, okay, listen, you need me to be serious? Okay. You need me to be serious? Okay. I can flip the switch and have my voice go and get serious. I can go and carry myself, roll my shoulders back, pop my head forward, and start sounding like, listen, I'm telling you right now, you go and you cross that line, I guarantee you're going to end up on the ass end of an ass whooping. You need me to go and be the guy on the ass end of a joke, you know, like with Kurt Angle with Ray, you're a boy, and I'm a man.
I
And I
remember that
love
one.
playing with boys. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. I got no problem being that guy either.
Yeah, I hear that, man. But I gotta ask you, um, what are the possibilities of seeing Tim Vicious show up in wrestling again? I mean, because into building up, having you as a guest here, when I went over it with the main event crew, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been pushing to get you booked, get you on a card somewhere. Is there a possibility to get Tim Vicious back in a wrestling ring or as a wrestling entertainer in a capacity, like maybe as a commentator, as a manager, a backstage personality?
Oh, I'd
You
love
know,
that. I tried talking to the local promotion here at one
mhm,
point. I was like, hey, listen, if you guys are willing to, I'd love to come on and learn on how to be a referee. And I've always made the argument the referee is one of the most is the it's the third unsung hero in the ring because
yeah,
if they're the one that says this person won, this person lost, and heaven forbid if somebody gets hurt, need to call
yeah,
for the X.
and it's
You
part of
know,
the story too. Sometimes they're part of the story as well.
yeah. And I've always said, listen, I got no. I would say to them, I'd love to go. I would love to learn. And excuse me, and they were like, appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out to us. At this time, we're not looking, but if something comes up, we'll let you know. I was like,
Yeah,
all right, thanks. I appreciate it. So I kind of just took it with stride. And as much as I'd love to go to a wrestling school to learn, and it's not even that I'm worried that I can't because, I'm 40 now because Dallas started when he was 35. Batista started roughly around the same age. You know, I got no worry about that. It's a matter of timing, finances, and just life. So, and I got to
so there's a
prioritize
chance.
because I help do I help do home care work for my parents. I take care. I got a very active 15-year-old who constantly likes me to who constantly likes to remind me he's built like an ox. And yeah,
Well, what about getting him into wrestling? You could be his manager.
I brought it up like, dude, you could if you wanted to, right? He's like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it though. I'm like, okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh no, no, no. I know for a fact he got the bite and he got interested in Hooked for Life. I remember the night
Nice.
he got hooked. He got the bite. It was a Survivor series where it was Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatt family. It was the
Oh, that
first
was
time
nice.
he saw Undertaker's entrance live. And he just the
Nice.
second he heard the gong, he was just like
Which Wyatts was it? Was it with Braun Strowman or before Braun Strowman?
before Braun. It was the original family. It was
Oh,
with
geez. Okay, yeah.
Bray, Harper, and Rowan.
Undertaker showed up for that show.
What's up?
Undertaker showed up for that show.
Yeah, it was a tag
Damn.
match that night. Yeah, the main event that night was the tag match because I remember because Taker scooped up Brody Lee for the tombstone and the camera zoomed in and Taker had this look. I don't know how else to describe it, but Taker had this look on him like he just like he didn't trust like he didn't know on how to trust a fart.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
because
son got that.
he wasn't as active at that time, right? I think.
No, he was still that was before he wound up getting that hip replacement surgery and was able to fully move and function properly.
Mhm.
That was at that point where it was okay. Taker does a main event, does a WrestleMania match, gets surgery, does rehab, and then comes back. Yes, post streak.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember that. And that's when he came out a whole lot less.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now we lead into this. The first two episodes, I put Cardboard PC and Kyle Nix on the spot for this one. So now it's your turn. What are your 5 at 5 all timers in wrestling?
5 all
Your
time.
top five all time.
Macho and Jake Roberts, because like I said, them. Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and those two are like the opposite ends of the coin, as they were both like.
Oh yeah.
And man, I don't care what anyone says. If I was ever going to get into a bar fight and I needed to have a wrestler have my back, I would want Eddie Guerrero, because who else would be crazy enough to go and try and do a double leg on an Olympic wrestler except Eddie in an actual legit shoot fight?
Yeah.
Do you ever hear about that?
This was WCW, right?
No, that was back when Eddie was doing his feud with Kurt. Them two wound up getting some heat over something, and they had a legit shoot fight in the back. And Eddie tried doing a double leg on him. And what was it?
No, yeah. I during a match.
No, it was in a legit shoot fight.
No, I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah, they got into a legit fight, and Eddie tried doing a double leg on Kurt. And what was it? JBL came up to him, and he was like, Eddie, you okay? He was like, yeah, man, I'm just pissed off at myself. Why? Because I tried doing a double leg on Kurt.
During a fight?
Eddie, he's an Olympic gold medalist. And you tried doing a double leg on him. I know, man. That was so stupid on me.
You almost sound like Santino there. Almost. It's almost so good. It's almost Italian.
I know. Just son of a gun.
Oh man. Okay, well we'll get right back to Santino, but
I got there's number 4. Number 5, I gotta say. I'm probably going to get a lot of people pissed off on this, but I don't give a shit. Brock Lesnar, because dude is a monster, and not just any kind of monster. He's the kind of monster that eats other monsters.
No, he's legit. He's one of the most legit guys the Fed has ever had, or UFC has ever had.
Yeah, he may have lost his first UFC fight, but when he got that title shot against Randy Couture, he beat him so bad the ref had to say, yo, whoa, cut it. What's that tell you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd have to say Savage, Jake Roberts, Eddie, Kurt, and Brock.
Nice. I like it. Not bad. Very impressive list there, Tim Vicious.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, man, I've heard some crazy stories about Macho, man. Like, before he signed with the WWE, like, what was it? There was this one. It started out.
Excuse me.
Oh, there you go. An angel just got its wings.
An angel just got a Four Loko.
What was it? I was listening to the Jeff Jarrett show.
Oh shit!
I was listening to the Jeff Jarrett show, and he was talking about when Macho was running an outlaw promotion down in Tennessee, opposite of his dad's. And they're like, Jeff, do you ever hear the story about with Randy Savage at the Waffle House? And he was like, wait, which one? Are we talking about the time he did or didn't have a gun with him?
Damn.
Like how badass do you got to be to know, okay, not only do you got a Waffle House story on you, you got 2 of them, one of them involving a gun.
Damn. Jesus Christ. Before I forget, before we get out of here, if you could go back, or even now, if you could have one more match, who would it be with? Anyone in the world. Indie, famous, not famous, somebody that's coming up.
Oh, my God. Oh.
But if you could have a match against anyone in the world right now.
Oh, man, I am always horrible.
Who would you put on the boots for?
It depends on my mood, and how I'm feeling at that time.
Can I tell you who? I would love to see you versus Psycho Clown.
Oh, that would kill. I would like that.
If Jay Gold is listening, book it. Tim Vicious versus Psycho Clown.
I like that. But The kid in me would love to have Macho. The 20-year-old me would love Eddie.
Yeah.
Because I'm not ashamed to admit, when the news broke that Eddie Guerrero passed, man, I cried like you thought I lost a member of my own family.
And anybody I've talked to about that, or who has mentioned that, I said the same thing. Like he had a
And I
connection with
say all
people.
the time, Eddie Guerrero is the only man that was able to make me a baby face.
Yeah.
Because Eddie passed at that time. I was tag teaming. I was Tim Vicious at that time with my partner. We were the Pistols. We were tag champs. And it was a couple days, maybe a week or so after Eddie passed, we had our first show since. Now, and before we went out, I asked, dude, I was like, hey, can we go and do something for Eddie? Yeah, go ahead, man. It's no problem. So we get out there and we have our normal swagger and our attitude. And I just grab a megaphone and I take a page out of Shane Douglas' book. Cut the goddamn music. Now, before we go and kick your ass all over this ring, we got one thing to say. This match goes to the one man who's got the best seat in the whole freaking house. We love and miss you, Eddie. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go and our finish. We did our finish, which was a double Russian leg sweep. We called it Anarchy in PA. But
Nice.
yeah, we did that and was like, whoa, wait, Tommy, let's set up some tables. So, and our tables consisted of either sheetrock sitting on horses or some really old, worn out OSB that would break if you dropped a penny on it.
I love that you call them horses because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, anyone that's ever done construction work or any kind of a home, any kind of contracting work knows what I'm talking about. But we set them up on that, and we did frog splashes on opposite corners onto the guys. We got up and we both started doing like Eddie with the dance.
Yeah.
We get into the back, and next, promoter looks is like, "Did you enjoy yourself?" Yeah.
Yeah. Are you done?
No, you enjoy. Look, it's like, did you enjoy the match? Yeah, we did. Did you have fun? Yeah. Like, good. Hope you're happy. You guys just made yourself baby faces. What?
Right.
No.
Not even trying to.
No. You hear that out there? Like, oh, you mother.
You're telling me I gotta kiss babies and high five kids now? Fuck.
We never changed the way we acted, though. We never changed the way we acted. We never changed the way we talked. The only difference was instead of trashing the good guys, we were trashing bad guys now. That was it. We never changed ourselves. All we did was just change who we were talking smack on. That was it.
I hear that. And then, so you were saying through your eras. So, what would Tim Vicious of today? Who would your dream player be?
Oh, Vicious of today, I would have to say definitely Matt Cardona, just because I would love to because I'd love to be able to cement saying I made a god bleed. I made the indie god bleed.
Even though you're already gonna be bleeding on the way to the fucking stage.
Oh yeah, I showed my son the Sandman entrance the first time he seen it. He was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, I was like, "Oh, dude, I would do that stuff for fun."
Well, while I was doing research before I interviewed you, I read somewhere that Sandman's character was inspired from a match he saw you performing during your backyard wrestling career.
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that. I can't say I ever saw him in the crowd watching. However,
how is your cousin's kid, by the way?
I'm more than glad that he approved and took inspiration from me. In fact, Hack, if you ever need to step back, I still have it. This is an old memento from ye old days, and this is a good solid one. It's not split open, so this one will hurt.
Nice. So when can we expect your episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
Oh, let's see. There's a couple dead bodies that they'd have to. There's a couple dead bodies they'd have to dig up to do that episode on me.
I'm gonna book you, man. I'm gonna get you in a fucking match. I'm going to make it my wrestling life's mission to get you booked in one last match, and I'm gonna be in your corner. yelling obscenities, yelling at people in the crowd, hyping them up to hate you while they just throw things at you, and you just bask in the glory of it all. I am going to get
you.
you.
Like a reverse Rocky. Gonna be like reverse Rocky, and you're gonna be my mech.
We are gonna get you booked. I am telling you, I'm going to put in the phone call with Four Loko. We're going to get some money involved. You know, we need you in the ring one more time.
There you go. And my gear is relatively simple. Just a decent pair of gym shorts with trunks underneath.
And you get to wear your Vicious Chance tank top.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have one?
You know, I thought about wearing it today, but, you know, a part of me was saying, nah, you know, you can go and do your
it was actually funny because I was telling my wife, like, I'm trying to find that tank top because you always wear a tank top to the show, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, dude, you ever need it? I can send you the link to the store.
I've never worn it. Because you always wear your Vicious one for your show. So I was like, oh, I'm going to wear one of my tank tops so, you know, we match. But seems like we both ended up wearing rock t-shirts. Yeah, I'm wearing a Dance Gavin Dance t-shirt. This one has a cat on it. Wow. Well, you're a cat daddy now too. That's right.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I'm a cat grandpa because my son got the cat, and he brought him here, so he's cat dad. I'm cat grandpa.
Okay.
I'm cat grandpa, and I carry that with no problem, with a badge of honor, no problem whatsoever.
I could picture you and your lawnmower, but it's like a motorcycle, and you got like a sidecar, and the cat's in there.
Oh, I would do that with no problem whatsoever. My brother was looking into buying. My brother was looking into buying a motorcycle, and I was like, "Dude, if you get one, you got to get a sidecar." And I am getting one of those old World War I German helmets with a spike on it, and I'm riding. Like, yes,
hell yeah. So, oh yeah, that's right. Don't forget to subscribe.
Make sure you guys subscribe to the main event channel, folks.
Yeah, what I'm going to try to do is keep this show exclusive. So hopefully the next time we have you on board, we're talking about your retirement match, your one last book match that the Great Brown Hope will get you booked for. And
Matt Cardona, we're coming for you,
man. We're coming for you, Matt Cardona. We're gonna start spreading the message, man. We're gonna get this. We're gonna make it a movement. So I know you're already staying nice and loose. I see you working out all the time. So
MC versus TV.
You just eventually got to get into the ring and try to shake off the cobwebs, man. You never know.
I got to work off the ring rust.
You never know,
broke up some major scar tissue in my shoulder today when I took my son to the gym and we were doing chainsaws. I broke up some major scar tissue. It sounded like a machine gun going off. Crack, 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 crack. It was like, oh God, my arm hasn't loose and free.
So you probably can't take a bump, or you can't take the bump.
Honestly, I haven't tried taking one ever since I left. I mean, I've bumped my head on the basement just about every time I ever go down there. But I've never tried doing like just a straight flat back. Like I've shown my son some moves, like, all right, like he would say, like, how do you go and do a DDT? How do you do this move or that move? I'd be like, all right, well, come here. Because before you learn on how to do the move on the person, you got to learn on how it is when you take it. That's how I wanted them to learn. I want you to learn this is on how you take it before you learn on how to give it. So I'd hook them and I'd be like, all right, when you go to do the DDT, you're going to land and you're going to land like this. You keep your head and your chin tucked in, and then I would fall back. And naturally, I would put all my weight into my upper back to make sure I landed up there.
Okay.
And I was landing on like hardwood flooring when I was showing them.
Damn. So maybe you still can, huh?
Maybe.
Maybe one more?
Maybe, you know.
And then you would come out to a Dragula, Rob Zombie?
You know, I was thinking that, that'd be one, but man, there are so many good songs out there nowadays where I'm just like, man, if this song was out when I was wrestling, oh my God. Like, you know what? My last match, I had Slipknot's "Wherein Lies Continues" be my song.
Man, I always love Slipknot so fucking much,
and that was from the "All Hope Is Gone" album. Because I don't know why, just the intro for that, it was the do 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 do. It just clicked with me like, oh my God,
it's a wrestling song. That should be a wrestling. Yeah, I'll hear a lot of today's rock or rock from a few years ago, and I'll be like, this would have been a great wrestling song. This would be a great wrestling promo song. Like, when I put my stuff together for the vlog.
like almost any Five Finger song, you could be like, yeah, I could definitely see this being a fight song.
Or Death Talk.
There you go.
Like
Or
Awaken.
Ghost.
Oh, I love Ghost, man. Did you get
Oh
into
yeah,
Ghost?
yeah.
Did you get into
Sure.
Ghost? Ghost is fucking awesome, man. I was just telling my wife that I had heard of them back then. I had heard a couple songs, and then at my last recent job, somebody was really into them, and they played them all the time. And I was like, man, these guys got some pretty good shit nowadays. And just caught up with everything else that they've recently put out. They're pretty dope.
All right, so let me ask you a question. If you were going to be
Oh,
coming out and you were going to have and you could have any live band, alive or dead, play it at a ring, who would you have?
ah, that's tough, man. That all depends too what kind of capacity. But
Just picture it almost kind of like maybe if it was like a WrestleMania or an All In like show.
oh shit, I would have Papa Roach.
Oh, nice.
Papa Roach.
Now you
They've
see
I know they've had music and wrestling before, but when I was younger, I was into a lot of rap and hip hop. Some rock in Spanish, but nothing really like hooked me in like Papa Roach did when they first dropped Last Resort. Um, for me, that was like an awakening for that kind of rock music because it wasn't really rock. That would have been considered what, new metal maybe, because that
yeah,
was
that
what,
was
in
like the new metal.
1999. That's new metal, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
the
I
era
remember
of
when
emo
Papa
rock,
Roach
so to speak.
debuted. Papa Roach first popped up on my radar on Tony Hawk 2, I think it was.
Do you
But
remember what song it was?
no, I don't remember. I know Papa Roach was on Tony Hawk soundtrack though.
Yeah. So then
But
another one I really like is "Getting Away with Murder" by
oh,
Papa
that's a
Roach.
good
That
one.
song is really good, and I used that one for when I did the best of my blog for Baron Corbin's greatest hits. That's one of the songs I used for like the little like promotion Instagram videos, and it just fits so well. Like there's always been like you talked about, like you hear an intro or you hear a certain part in a song, you're like, man, this would be really good in a highlight package, or this would be really good when you're putting together a promo for like a match that's coming up. So see, like that's what I've had an ear for. You know what I mean? Like, see, like you've had like an ear for vision for patterns, or you see in ring chemistry. Like you build in ring character. You've been in the ring yourself. But for me, somebody who's always been into music and wrestling and storytelling, when I see those kind of promos, like I get hooked. Like I'm like, okay, like yes, I know these are all the things that happen, but when you put it into this kind of light, it's a completely different story. Like they change the dynamic of everything. Like one example I can give you, I brought this up on the NXT Night Shift show on Main Event Wrestling Network. Um, they were just randomly talking about like older NXT stars, and I brought up how NXT has always been good at having one-off feuds, and when you have those one-off feuds, like you don't really need to keep going. Like whoever wins or loses, it doesn't matter. Like both people will move on to something better regardless, because people are going to get to see who they are and what they can do without nothing at risk, nothing at stake, so to speak. And I talked about Austin Aries versus No Way Jose. Remember that on NXT?
Oh yeah.
That was a really good one-off. But the video package was insane because you had Austin Aries, who had just had a match with Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT title, and Austin Aries had just got NXT. He was hot. He was red hot. Like people knew who he was, and he was finally in the Fed. Like he was always a small guy. Like you would have never. He was one of those people you wouldn't have thought would made it before. But in that era, when he made it, everybody was like, okay, yeah, this was supposed to happen. This was meant to happen. And his match with Shinsuke, like, who do you book to win at that point in time? You know what I mean? Like a red hot Shinsuke Nakamura in NXT, or a guy Austin Aries who's been red hot everywhere else, and they just got him. They both can't afford to lose. And what happened with Austin Aries was that he had done his outside dive, but he didn't like calculate it properly. Like Shinsuke like sidestepped him at the last second, and Austin Aries like rammed into the barricade.
And
And that's what they
like
booked the
mashed
angle on.
up
They
his
said,
elbow bone, I think it was.
yeah, they had said like, oh my God, Austin Aries made one mistake and he lost the match. Like they said that's what cost him the match, making one fatal mistake, because he was booked as what, the perfect human being, or what was he calling himself?
Greatest
The greatest man
professional
alive.
wrestler to ever live.
No. At NXT. At NXT, he said he was the greatest man alive or something like that. Because I know before he got there, he was saying he was the greatest wrestler alive or something like that.
Yeah.
But at NXT, he was saying he was the greatest man alive. And that's what the commentators were pushing. You know how the commentators are always like, no, don't call him that. Call them this. Keep calling them this. Like, whatever we call them. Like with Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes, and they're like, oh, it's game 7. Like, keep calling it game 7. Like, no, it's not. It's match 7. Like, relax. This isn't fucking basketball. Like, you can say match 7, dude. Like, you don't need to incorporate whatever you think other people think are cool. Like, don't mess with my fucking wrestling. And then he had that interview, I think it was with Kathy Kelly or what was her name? Charlie Caruso. It was either Charlie Caruso or Kathy Kelly. But Austin Aries was like, oh, I messed up. I got to do this. I got to do that. And No Way Jose walked in like, hey, come on, man. When life tells you no, you got to tell life, no way. And like he was, trying to like push him along. And you could tell Austin Aries was kind of annoyed. And then they had, that moment where Austin Aries was like, you know what, you're right, No Way Jose. It's about having fun. And then they start dancing and Austin Aries kicks his ass. Like, oh, like what have I possibly going to learn from No Way Jose? Like in that 2-minute video package, like I saw so much. You know what I mean? Like I saw the whole thing. And little things that have always spoken to me, even back then, like when they were merging all the titles after the invasion. They had the Triple H was the World Heavyweight Champion and Kane was the Intercontinental Champion. And they had a match at Judgment Day. So Kane would have been World Heavyweight Champion and Intercontinental Champion, but instead Triple H won and we had both matches. But leading up to that match, they put together this video package where they turned Triple H to like Predator Triple H. Like, remember how Predator can see, like, remember that?
That's another one of my guys from when I was in my 20s.
Like
that was another one of my guys from when I was in my 20s. Triple H, when he was in like that 2003 Untouchable got like heel mode. He was one of my guys just because like so many people were constantly pissed off at him. Like, how can he keep winning? How can he keep winning? How can he do this? I'm like, dude, when you're that fucking good, what do you expect? Okay, yeah, he's married to the boss's daughter, but still, that puts more pressure on him, not less, because now he's got to live up to his stepdad, to his father-in-law's standards.
Well, you look back at it now, and you think to yourself, like, what if Stone Cold, The Rock, Kane, Big Show, Undertaker, all these people who he, like, quote unquote, ran through, what if they had actually won? Would those feuds have been as fun? Would those angles have been as enjoyable? Like, it was the case. And they were all these guys, they all wanted Triple H. I mean, he was the champion, but everybody was winning for him.
And I've always made the argument, it's a lot of times it's better to be the hunter instead of being the hunted. Like when Kofi
Hunter was the hunter.
Yeah, like when Kofi was chasing after the world title, when he was chasing after the world title, and everyone was like, "Oh man, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it." No, they're going to do it. They're building up to WrestleMania. You could just wait. You look at it, because that again, seeing the pattern and the way it was going. Like, no, they're going to do it. They're going to do the same. They're going to take a small little smidgen from like what they did with Eddie Guerrero, saying, I'm not sure if I'm good enough or qualified enough to be a world champion, but you know what? God damn it, I'm going to go and try. And what did they do? Mm-hmm. They did like, freaking Mania.
Without Triple H being the champion, all those guys would not have been as popular, you know what I mean? Like, everybody hated Triple H. So even when Triple H came back from that injury and they quote unquote loved him, because I don't remember, like, people, the way I've seen it, they always made it look like people were happy to see him back. I think what it was the element of surprise. Like, oh shit, he's back. Like, yeah, this is cool. Like, it's good to see him back. But when he was chasing the title, people weren't really behind him. You know what I mean? Like, people weren't buying the merge. A face Triple H wasn't as fun as the Triple H you love to hate. Because when people hated Triple H, they were buying his, remember the gray football jersey he had?
Yeah. Yeah.
People were buying that. You would see that in the stands everywhere. Triple H t-shirts, people were buying that shit.
And, you know, I will say this, and I know I'm in a small minority. I actually liked the DX reboot that him and Shawn did, because I thought it was funny because of the simple fact of You got a guy in their 30s and 40s still trying to act like they're in their 20s.
Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious because of that.
Yeah.
And not only that, I clicked with DX simply because those were the same kind of antics me and my brother would do on a regular basis from the time we were like 5 and 6. We were constantly getting into some kind of trouble together in some way or another, and we were always doing some kind of stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
so it would just always be like, it would always just be like, hey, Joe, look over there. Look over there. It's so-and-so. Oh, really? Where? Oh, ladies, come and show my buddy Todd here how we have fun. Oh, he wasn't there.
They were just trying to get people like me and you back. They were trying to get that generation back. You know, the business was hurting. I mean, it was a rough time, but we got through that.
And at that time, I mean, I thought
it was okay. So they brought in a Hornswoggle. It was okay.
Yeah. Well, probably one of the funniest lines ever was when Hornswoggle was hiding underneath Triple H's legs. And for the record, yes, that is a midget in between my legs. That or with Maria. Well, they think we're going to lose. We have 2 words for them. No way. No, not no way. It's. You seem confused. Perhaps a visual aid is in order. Come on, let's go. No, show him. But come on. Like, that was the stupid shit me and my brother still do to this day.
Yeah, no offense to Horny, but I just didn't like him. At least not in DX. And they put him in 3MB, which was even worse. It's like it's a 3-man band, not a 4-man band.
Yeah. Well, in their case, with Hornswoggle, it was 3.5.
I think I had said 3.5 man band or something.
Yeah, it was 3.5. Honestly, it was 3.5.
I just thought that was kind of foul. And then who was it? It was Los Matadores. They had El Torito. That's why. Because it did the
WLC was the greatest freaking pre-show match in the history of ever. I died laughing. I had tears rolling down my face. I was laughing so hard. My stomach was cramping. They had the little tiny chairs and the little tiny tables and the little tiny platters.
They really went the extra mile. I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, this is so bad. It's funny. Like,
you know, it's been a rule in my family forever that good catch. It's been a rule in my family forever that if you make me laugh, I can't get mad at you.
Oh man! And to think that there were 2 future world heavyweight champions.
Nobody would have ever thought that.
You know what I mean? Like, and then also, you guys put out that Main Event Network video with like everybody advertising their stuff. And then when Kyle talked about Jinder Mahal, I was like, oh hell no!
Don't hinder Jinder.
He did that on purpose.
Don't hinder Jinder, man. Don't hinder Jinder.
Never hinder the Jinder, man. I can't wait to see him back, man. I think he'll be back someday. I hope so. It'll happen. Shut up! Get this man. We gotta fire this guy already. Where's Kyle? Fire the intern. They're useless.
Intern.
All right, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you get out of here. Before I let you run down your stuff, be ready. Get everything ready for what you want to run down. I just want to remind everybody, make sure you subscribe to our Main Event Wrestling Network YouTube channel. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. We've got Vicious Rants, Vicious Chats. We've got the Junkie Pod. We've got Sam's on Sam's. We've got OTM, of course. We got the NXT Night Shift. We got Tino's Time, who is always live, except right now because he's giving us a chance to shine. We got IW Guide as well, who I have been talking to, trying to get you booked for a match. I don't know if they're going to agree to it, but eventually they will. And, we just added a new member to our Blog World Order, Darsar Shady. He will be dropping a new blog tomorrow on Main Event Wrestling Network, his very first solo piece. Paperclip Mike actually just started a brand new series called Buy Rate. I think you're going to relate to this one a lot because he's going to go back and review a lot of the OG pay-per-views. Well, actually, I think he's going to review all the pay-per-views and if they were worth buying or not. But he's got a new series where he's going to break down, pay-per-views, the years, if it was worth buying it, stuff like that. So, throwing people into a time machine, so to speak. So make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube so you don't miss out on anything. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, I believe we are on Etsy, and no, we are actually not on Etsy, but we do have a merch store. OTM is having a clearance sale, so make sure you guys check that out. Help them clear out their warehouse so they can get on with their lives and sell stuff somewhere else. But other than that, I've got a couple blogs coming up. I will have episode 4 of this show in about 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to be having a trading card roundtable where I'm going to get a couple guys together to talk about wrestling trading cards. I'm going to have Cardboard PC back, Kyle Nick's back for that one. Trying to get 2 more extra guests for that one. So, we have a real roundtable discussion. But other than that, it's Main Event Wrestling Network on YouTube. Subscribe, follow us on all our socials, and let them know Tim Vicious. Let them know what you got going on, what the future holds for Tim Vicious, and where they can find you.
Well, watching, you see the Linktree link down over there. Move my hand the right way. Also on Twitter, Tim Vicious. My Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. I got Threads. If you get a Facebook, they automatically give you a Threads and a Instagram. So I'm on both of those, Tim Vicious. Blue Sky, I'm not on there a whole lot. I have that for just in the off 1 in a million chance that Twitter may implode because it's come close a couple times. The YouTube show, Vicious Rants, that comes out every Tuesday. Time may vary, but it roughly will come out anywhere between 1 to 2 in the morning Eastern. Let's see what else. The Vicious Words of Wisdom are shorts I do with my weird warped sense of humor. Like, folks, you need to keep in mind, if her dating profile says she's a hardworking country girl, remember, real country involves drunk driving, crystal meth, and most likely a DUI with hookers. Till next time.
Until next time.
In that very dry after-school special type way.
Oh, man.
But Vicious Words of Wisdom every Monday and Thursday. I'm constantly doing random posts of weird little shorts of things that crack me up or I think is funny. Whether it's about games or energy drinks or whatever. And yes, it's true. The Vicious Words of Wisdom do not represent the network. Trust me. Hence why I do not tie that with the network stuff.
But that's why the network is so down. Like they let us do whatever we want. Just don't tag them if it's
Oh yeah. Because listen, I know for a fact I could say and do things that would piss off most people, and some of it not on purpose.
But you know what? I think HR is off today, so we should be okay because I have not seen HR in the comments. Oh wait! I think he did go to the TNA show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Jay Gold did. Yeah, that's right. So hopefully he doesn't see any recording. But also, so I'm always open to talking to anyone. I'm always open to talking to anyone, about anything. Just the number one golden rule to take a page out of Progress Wrestling: don't be a dick. Because the second you go and you be a dick, that's when you lose me. That's when I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I've lost interest in wanting to talk to you then. But I'll talk about wrestling. I'll talk about TV shows. I'll talk about music, video games, anime. I'm a giant nerd. I'll talk about weightlifting, skulls, reps, whatever. I'm open to chatting about whatever with anyone about anything at any time. Also, I am also a WWE Shop affiliate. I have a link on all my YouTube videos. So if you want to make any purchases for any WWE merch, feel free to use that link because that helps improve the Vicious Studios.
What is it you said? It gives us a nominatory deposit. What do you say?
We receive a small nominal commission.
There you go. That's the one. I love how you run through it every time as soon as you show it. It's like, okay, let's
folks, I'm going a little off the script here. I'm going to go off the reservation. if you have any discount codes. So if you have a discount code to get you 5, 10, 20, even 50% off, you can still use it when using my affiliate link.
Hell yeah. There you go. I like that. Whoever does the shorts over at the interns prison, green room, you can make that into a short. You got some sales for Tim Vicious over here. But I really appreciate you coming out, making time for this, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have been thinking about it for a while. Like, well, we already did episode 1 and 2. I have 2 phenomenal guests. I need a 3rd phenomenal guest, and I was like, what could be more phenomenal than the most vicious man on the internet?
Well, I appreciate that, man. Most definitely. I do appreciate that. And intern, you know as well as I do, you will get paid in college credit. Do not ask for a pay up unless you want college credit. Lest we send you back to the dungeon. I mean, print shop.
They're just like working their asses off, trying to like stitch the OTM, the night shift logos on the shirts, and like Jay Gold and Kyle, like, they'll put your back into it.
Work, slave! Work! Work!
Can we get a water break? I say you can get a water break. Oh, man. All right, man. Well, thanks again for coming by. You take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. And I'll get your book soon, all right?
All right. Thank you much, man. I appreciate it.